Hello there, Internet, and friends, and family, and co-workers, and compadres, compatriots, conquistadors, and you, Jeremy, you scared poor little soul sitting in the back of the room wondering if this is the last time I will be giving you this message. Well, buck up, young friend, for we're about to embark on a journey of both the mind, body, spirit, soul, and curiosity. For we are back, dating crippled girls in a Japanese simulator written for 14-year-old virgins that cannot get laid in any other way. I am, of course, talking about the wonderful candescence known as Katawa Shoujo, and my quest to make out with a burn girl until she understands the true meaning of pain. I'm back. Stuff happened. Like, I got a job, and other things, but I'm trying to make videos. Where did I go? That's not important. What's important right now is I'm enjoying a wonderful festival while trying to guide this blind-ass bitch through traffic, because there is no way she can make it through it without stumbling over at least 8 different objects. Anyway, plans for the future? I'm going to be making a series. I hope you guys like it. If not, that's fine. It's going to be an interesting little show. Until then, let's learn about the wonders of this bitch. Anyway, I guess some miso soup. Ah, is that Hisao? Yep, looks like you're pretty busy. Her face all but confirms it as she drops her waitress facade. Somewhere along the line our order got mixed up. We're trying to fix it now, but it only looks like we only have half of what we need. Fun fact, it's been so goddamn long I might have forgotten what these people fucking sound like, and yet I don't blah blah blah. Wouldn't serving smaller portions cover our problem? It seems like it's what we'll have to do, though. I wish she didn't. The fact that the good half of our class is gone doesn't help either. I glance behind her and see how many people are actually operating the stall. Could be over about 8. I take it that that's why your teacher left. That's right. She's going to try and round up a few more of our classmates to help. Hearing the sound of footsteps behind me, I stealthily glance backwards to see an elderly couple taking a place in the line. I guess I'd better stop loitering around and chatting. Here's money for the soup. Soup? Alright, coming right up. Lily turns and calls for a bowl of miso soup as I hand over the money for it. Taking the coins in her palm, I can't help but notice how efficiently she counts them with her long, pale fingers. Eventually satisfied that I've handed over the correct change, she puts it into a long, pale tray. It isn't long before the soup is made and carefully handed to her, after which she turns and subsequently passes it to me. Thanks. I'll come back and drop off the bowl. Thank you, Hisao. Oh, there is one other thing. Have you seen Hanako? Hanako? No, not today. Why? She gives a small sigh of abject disappointment. Not regular disappointment, though she couldn't afford it. It's okay. I was just wondering what she was doing for the festival. You'll come back when you're done, right? Sure. I'll keep an eye out for Hanako, too. Because I'm fucking perfect. In every way. You know what I'm talking about. Thank you, Hisao. I walk off from the stall and find a seat, carefully crating the steaming wooden bowl in both hands. Compared to the dumplings from before, this is quite nice. A little cool compared to what it probably should be, perhaps, but the flavor is enough to cover up my crippling depression that I've been sharing with everyone since this adventure began. As I drink, I forget. As the alcohol seeps into my veins, the longing loneliness that prolongs my very soul is gone. For the brief glimpses of sunshine that I can catch between the wisps of my otherwise decadent existence, I can grab onto something I've never once even considered in this pastime. Happiness. It can't really be helped, because Japanese expressions don't translate very well to English, and it still weighs heavily on my mind. That, and the fact that a few students don't really seem to be enjoying the festival as much as the visitors. Eventually I finish my bowl and I'm high as fuck. Considering that there seems to be no line at all, I take my time walking up. It seems the teacher's mission paid off. There are now over a dozen students helping, and much of the unpacking has yawned. Despite most of them seeming quite relaxed as they work, Lily appears to be somewhat stressed. Lily doesn't look impressed at all. Then again, she doesn't really look anywhere these days. On top of her issues with her stall, she seems to be worried about Hanako. I really can't help her with the former, so I guess the only way I can help by trying to take her mind off of her shy mutual friend. Placing the bowl back on the ground, I call out to Lily, who has transformed into a 9-foot-tall pink elephant. Man, this is some good shit. Hey, Lily, don't worry about Hanako. I'll go find her and hang out with her, okay? I can see Lily's relief plainly written across her face. Thanks, Sal. And if you see anyone from our class, can you tell them to bring back here, please? Will do. Have a good one. And make sure you take a break, okay? I will if I can. See you later, Sal. I leave Lily in the stall and head out in search of Hanako, the one true princess of this magical fairyland. In a way, I feel bad for leaving her with the crowds, but even though she was clearly under pressure, I can help but think that she's enjoying herself. The halls are packed with swaying crowds meandering throughout the festival. If there's one thing I know about Hanako, it's that she is not going to be anywhere near this. And with the students showing their friends and families to their dorms, I doubt she'll be there either. Following blind. The joke is that Lily is blind. Intuition. I move against the grain of the crowd. Thankfully, this crowd seems to be slightly less festive than your usual festive crowd. I assume this is out of consideration for the student body. I mean, after all, there's probably one who's got bones made of glass and skin made of paper. As I force my way through the masses, it doesn't take them long to thin down into nothingness. I find myself alone in a hallway with the creepy-ass painting man. I don't understand what his mission in life is, but I swear to God at any second he's going to start screaming at me, and I don't want to be around when that happens. Even the most eager of students don't bother to show anyone this section of the school. As I enter the library, the noise of the festival fades into a dull background noise, and soon I am in the reading area at the rear of the room. Behind one of the partition's desks, I see the top of a head with straight, dark hair catching my eye, as well as my penis. Hey, Hanako! I had a feeling to find you here. The head jumps a little in shock before slowly peeping over the partition. Isao? Hey, Lily's pretty busy, so she sent me here to find you. Oh, do you want to sit down? Actually, I'm feeling a little hungry. Would you like me to get something to eat from one of the stands? Oh shit, I right-clicked. I brought some food, so I shouldn't be surprised. But it was worth a try. Expecting her to go outside today was a long shot. How about we eat in the tea room? I passed it, by it on the way here, and no one was around. We can make food there, and it'll be a little more comfortable. What do you say? Sure, let's go. I mean, my heart is backflipping in 7 different ways right now as my fucking pristine goddess of all that is wonderful is just agreeing to what I want. Oh boy, this is fun. Hanako closes her book and puts it away with deliberate, practiced movements. Good to go. Good to go. See, I thought this game was above references to 90s Subway commercials, but I guess I'm wrong. Yeah. We walk side by side from the library to the tea room. As expected, there's barely a soul around. If it weren't for the murmurs through the walls... Are we in a fucking Silent Hill game? Shit. You wouldn't tell that there was a huge festival going on outside. Hanako carries her bag in both hands and focuses on the floor ahead of her. She's wondering where the delightful background music went. She especially likes that one tune with a little bit of jazz piano. Every now and then, she seems to break pace a little and steps in slightly shorter paces. The first time it happened, I gave it no mind, but I soon noticed that she does it on a regular basis. You alright? She stops dead in her tracks. What? I don't know. Looked like you were tripping or something. Have you been doing LSD without me? Are you holding out? I would like some pills, please. A pink blush rises into her cheeks as her gaze returns to the floor. The music decides that it's now time for children's cartoon opening theme number 7. It's nothing. You know, when you say nothing like that, people are inspired to ask further questions. I want that on my gravestone. That's exactly what I was thinking. For a second, I forget what voice I use the narrator as. Prepared to leave it be. I almost set off walking again when... It's... a game. Oh my god! Oh my fucking god. Just call me M&M's because I'm melting right in this lady's mouth. The fucking cutesy smile. The fact it's a game. The alone in the hallways. This music sounding like it's straight from the Room soundtrack. I am flustered and taken aback in more ways than I can describe. Game? Do you see the floor here? What a bizarre question. I mean, what am I, Lily? Of course I can see the floor. Nothing noteworthy. Well, yeah. What about it? Sometimes, when there's no one around, I only step on the darker ones. Okay, Hanako, listen. If we're gonna live in a magic shoujo dream castle in which I have to fight off bandit lords in a post-apocalyptic future using nothing but an ancient art of kung fu, while at the same time you lead a village to water because that's the most precious resource ever, and you basically can kick your own ass, but at the same time you can't stand up to a dude who breathes goddamn fire by drinking gasoline, we're gonna need you to drop the fucking racism because we are not stepping on any darker ones, as you so call it. Oh, you mean the floor tiles. I feel silly. Hanako's voice trails off as her explanation continues until I can barely hear her voice over the roaring silence of the empty hall. Darker ones? Shuffling her feet, Hanako poised to the toe of her shoe at the tile that is barely a shade darker than the others. Like these ones. Oh. Right. So those ones are no good? I point out a nearby tile. Yeah, something like that. Oh, I see. You play this game a lot? Hanako shakes her head. Just when the halls are empty? She nods. Well then, no point in stopping. I'm beginning to get really, really hungry. She nods again, this time with a little more enthusiasm. Well then, let's go! We set off down the hall, and this time I noticed that Hanako was paying a little less attention to the floor. I wonder, just how lonely does someone have to be to come up with a game like that? Not. I fucking play games like that all the time. Maybe not recently because I grew up into an adult man with lots of important things to do. But when I was a kid, I hated tiles. They're the worst. Before I realize what I'm doing, I find myself trying to aim each step so it lands on the correct tiles. The noise of the festival is slightly louder inside the tea room, but the breeze coming in through the open window makes it so worth it. Without thinking, I walk to the windowsill and inhale deeply. Then I remember that there's a terrible bonfire burning outside to eliminate the corpses of our past misdeeds, and I've suddenly developed 7 different types of emphysema. Sometimes I forget how clean the air is here compared to before this. Would you like some tea? That would be great. Thanks. It occurs to me that this is the first time I've been alone with Hanako without her trying to be somewhere else. Turning from the window, I watch as she makes a simple pot of tea and arranges some sandwiches onto a plate. I've seen her do this many times before, but this time it seems slightly different. It's like she's calm. Eventually, she places the small tray on the table and pours 2 cups of tea. The first scent of brewed tea mingles with the breeze, and for a second I feel like I'm the only one in the world. I think I know why you like this room now. I don't know what you mean. Well, there are quite a few people out there, but in here it's like another world. You can pretend that you're a dinosaur, and walk around and go, I will eat your house. You're right. It's like the world has forgotten this room. Bitch, then how the fuck did you remember it?